Have you wanted to get in shape this year, trying to work out at home, and it's August now, and the results just haven't been what you wanted or what you expected? What I'm going to share in this video can solve both of these situations. One, why your home workouts haven't been leading to progress and results. Or number two, if you've been having trouble being as consistent with working out as you wanted to be or as you hope to be. If either of these situations apply to you, then stick around because I'm going to show you the number one thing to focus on to get progress happening. And in case you're wondering, this can work if your main goal is to drop some body fat or if your main goal is to build muscle. Either of those, anywhere in between, any other type of fitness goal, this can work, so stick around. Not only that, but if your current situation only allows or would allow for like short 15-minute workouts, or if you could do hour-long workouts at home, if any of those situations apply to you as well, the information I'm going to share will apply to you either way. All right, so let's get into it. So look, I just covered that what I'm about to share can apply to a variety of contexts with regards to home workouts. Right? So how can this be? This one thing is like one of those critical few actions, one of those main actions that you'd want to be paying attention to that you might not have been aware of previously or might not have been applying as consistently as needed to. And in doing that, in not doing that effectively, some different frustrations or some different problems could come up. On the surface, you could just be frustrated by a lack of progress if you're not doing what I'm about to share, right? A lack of progress, a lack of results. And ultimately what that boils down to then is feeling like you're wasting your time. You're busy and you're trying to apply your time and energy to your fitness goals on some level and just not seeing results and progress is obviously frustrating and demoralizing. So I want to share this with you so we can end that cycle, right? And this can do that. And we'll see how in a minute. It may also be because you've been inconsistent with working out. So by focusing on this one thing that I'm going to share, that can actually simplify the focus, right? Instead of overcomplicating things, right? How can we still get results maybe in less time, in shorter workouts that would better fit your schedule so you can build up more consistency, which would get better results? Okay, and then the last one just might be, you're doing your workouts regularly or semi-regularly, but you're not seeing results and you're looking for a way to level up. Do you have to do more? Are you looking at how can I make the workouts more intense so they can drive results? Or you might also be thinking, is it even possible? Is it realistic to get real results, noticeable results from working out at home? Or should you think about going back to the gym? You might be in that mind space too. Okay, so those are just a few of the common problems with working out at home when you're not doing a few strategic things. Okay, so like I talked about a minute ago, let's go over how we can end this common cycle of frustration, right? And instead of being frustrated, you can be hopeful or very confident that what you're doing with your home workouts is leading to progress and results, and it's just a matter of time before you see it. So I know you're waiting for me to get to it. The number one thing, this main thing to think about with your home workouts is the principle of progressive overload. So that's a technical term, but all it is doing more over time. Another way to think of it, or another way that a lot of you may have heard about this, is like giving your body a continual reason to adapt or progress. That's what progressive overload is. Okay, and we're going to get into some examples of how to do it, how I do it with my fitness coaching clients to show you how you can apply this every workout so that you can make your home workouts lead to progress, lead to results, whether they're very short workouts and you're really trying to maximize your results in a limited amount of time, or you can do a little bit longer workouts and you just want to drive maximum results where maybe you're not seeing that level of results right now and you wish there was more. And here's one of the problems with, not one of the problems, but with home workouts, we have to think a little bit differently than gym workouts. With gym workouts, it's easy. They have so much equipment in the gym. They have any weight you would need to use, whether it's on a machine, whether it's free weights. And you can just go, okay, this week I'm going to challenge myself and use a little bit more weight. And the difference with home workouts is a lot of people have a limited amount of fitness equipment at home. So they might have a few dumbbells, they might have a few bands, they might have a couple of of dumbbells and bands, but not ones that really lend themselves to incremental increases in weight like you would in a gym. And so then how do we utilize this progressive overload? How do we do a little bit more and then a little bit more and then a little bit more, a little bit more? Okay, so we have to get a little bit creative in thinking of solutions for home workouts. Yes, increasing weight, if you can do it, is one of the options, but it doesn't have to be the first option, and practically isn't if you're limited by equipment, or if your dumbbells, for example, are like 15-pound dumbbells and 30-pound dumbbells. A 15-pound jump for a given exercise is a huge amount. You're doubling the weight. So then it becomes a little bit impractical, even if you can do it. Okay, so some other ways we can do it is we can add sets. And this is something I use commonly at the beginning with new clients, is we start off with fewer sets, usually as low as 2, and we build up from there. And so I err on the side of doing less sets initially, and then we build up. But that increase in sets is one way we do more and drive better results over time. Okay, but there is an upper limit of that. Another way is to utilize more intense methods, methods like drop sets or rest pause, or you can use supersets where you do 2 exercises in a row for one muscle. And that way the first exercise kind of starts fatiguing the muscle, but then you get more challenge than you normally would for the second exercise. And maybe the weights you use then for the second exercise are actually challenging, where if you did that exercise first without the muscles being fatigued already, then that exercise wouldn't be challenging at all, and it would just feel like a waste of time, right? So going that route requires a little bit more creativity, and it's one of the things, probably one of the biggest areas from a programming standpoint that I help my clients with, is utilizing those strategically as a form of variation and regression, so that we can apply this principle of progressive overload to their workouts, and they don't have to worry about researching or knowing about these different methods up front. Okay, and the last one I saved is really the most practical, and the one even I use most, even for my own work, and that is increasing the reps. Because if you're doing something like 10 reps in an exercise, then the next week the goal is to do 11 or 12 on at least one set. And it's a lot easier to do that week in, week out, get at least one more repetition, than it is to lift 5 more pounds or 10 more pounds, or add a whole nother set of 10 reps as an example. Kind of like little micro improvements over time. So that's probably the most practical one, and it helps us drive continual progress and great results. So just to recap, you can increase weight, you can add more sets, do more sets. You can use methods, intensifying methods like drop sets, rest pause, supersets that make the actual exercises more challenging because you push to a greater level of fatigue in the muscles. And the last one, the most practical one, is increase the repetitions week to week. Now here's the secret sauce, or the bonus level, is to make sure you track your workouts. Whether that's in an app you can download and enter your exercises and adjust things in there, or it could just be using a spreadsheet, which is what I use with clients, where you can write in the weights or the number of reps you did, for example, that you can put in all that information. Or you can even just write it in a notebook or on a piece of paper, right? Any of those options work. But tracking your workouts helps because then you don't have to remember all the numbers, right? If we go to our example of increasing the reps per week, on the first week could start as 3 sets of 10 of all the exercises. In the second or third week, it could start looking like 1 set of 12 and then 2 sets of 10, 1 set of 12, 1 set of 11, 1 set of 10. And you have this for several exercises. It's a lot of different numbers to remember. Just take your memory out of it. Just write it down, right? And then pull out your notebook the next time you do that same workout and look at it. This is what I got last week. This is now the target for what I want to beat by at least 1 rep this week. Tracking your workouts can become really useful because it can get very easy to forget the specific numbers that you're doing, especially if you're doing 2, 3, 4 workouts a week. Okay, and with that said, why not just try and remember the numbers? Why do you have to go through the trouble of tracking and writing things down, doing different numbers of rep, different sets? There's a few reasons, okay? If you don't do this, if you don't apply this, there's just a lower probability of making progress and getting results. And that's especially true if all the workouts look the same. So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 6, they all look the same in terms of, for a given exercise, you're doing the same sets and reps. 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 10, nothing changes. That's going to get easier for your body. So if you never increase the difficulty, increase the challenge, then it's going to be less likely that you get, substantial results or as good a results as you could get if you were tracking your workouts. And if you're in a similar boat and you want to see better results from working out at home, you'll make progress faster, you'll make progress more consistently, more predictably if you apply this principle of progressive overload, doing a little bit more every week, and if you track your workouts so that you can make sure that you're accurate with what you're trying to do every week. And if you're in a similar boat and you want to see better results from working out at home over the rest of 2025, see where you can do a little bit more, a little bit better each week, and your nutrition is good enough, you'll see progress. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments if you want me to make a video about drop sets, rest, pause, supersets, those examples of how we can apply this principle of progressive overload that might be a little bit less well known than just trying to increase the weight whenever we can.